Honda Accord LX. It's got the 4-cylinder in it. I think it's 2.2 or something. We got a bad starter. Customer bought her own starter. Duralast from AutoZone. Got the driveway toolbox with me again, as usual. Parking lot toolbox today. So what we got to do is get this intake off, because the starter is down there. We got some bolts here to get the plastic off. Get the ductwork taken off, get hoses taken off, coolant lines. Get all the electrical disconnected, pull it out the way. And way down here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a bracket right here. It's got a bolt down there. Usually a 10mm. Look like somebody worked on this vehicle already and left it out, so I ain't got to worry about that one. But we'll get all this stuff out the way and off, and I'll bring you back along to show you the rest, because I'm trying to record this thing with my phone. Let's see. Always good to have some type of electrical tools. You ain't got to do all that ratcheting and stuff. Set that to the side. So we got some bolts here. Got one there. I got a nut and a nut there. Take all this stuff off first. Like I said, that's gonna come off, and the starter is way down there in the bottom. I'll bring you guys back after I get that off. Okay, back again. Got all the bolts and the nuts removed. I try to keep everything up here out of the way. Got the intake duct off, all the electrical disconnected. I'm ready to pull off the intake manifold with the throttle body attached. And I use a pair of needle nose pliers when I disconnect the coolant hoses from the throttle body to keep coolant from spilling out. It's usually the lower hose that has the coolant come out of it. This one here is not throttled by wire, it's throttled by cable. So I'm just going to leave these cables attached. I'm going to pull this intake manifold forward. There should be, if I remember right, a vacuum hose in the back of it that needs to be disconnected. And then I'm just going to fold it up and set it on top of the engine out the way, so I have access to the starter. So let's get a good look at this. So pull this back. Yeah, see, there's a vacuum hose there that's hooked into the back of the intake. I don't know if you can see it good there on camera, but just get down in there and trying to do this with one hand. There we go. It came right off. Like I said, somebody's been in here before. So still got that bracket down there hooked up, so just be careful. Watch your wires over here. Get everything out the way. And just set that joker up on top of the engine like that. It's the best way to do it. This here has a metal gasket for the intake. So just leave that on, you can reuse that. Here's the starter right here. We have a start wire, a battery cable. Get this out the way, knock sensor or something. Get the starter unbolted, pull it out, put the new starter in, and go back in reverse as we're putting it back together. Once I get the starter out, I'll bring you guys back along. I'm gonna need 2 hands from here. Guys, this starter, it's always got this long bolt back there in the back, and it's always tight as hell. I mean tight. You usually have to use your 1/2-inch drive tools to break it free. So on the front bolt, it's a short bolt right there on the front. and it's a 17 millimeter head, and on the back that's going to require a 14 millimeter. So I just use this a good old extender ratchet. We'll take the front one loose first. Like I say, it's a 17 millimeter. I'll get that joker on there and see how hard she is. See how much we gotta go here. Oh, yeah, this starter must have been replaced already. Let's try the back one now. That back one is usually extra hard for whatever reason. Let's see what we have. Yep, it's been replaced, and whoever did it, they didn't torque it down good. So we'll get the front one out. I wasn't even trying to attempt to break it free with this cordless ratchet, but it seems as I could have. Get that joker free. And before I get all these negative comments, yes, I did leave the positive hooked up. I did leave it. I always leave it connected if I don't have to. Got to look over here on the hot wire here. I keep it pulled out the way. Keep it tucked out the way somewhere. I just hate resetting the computer back to factory settings. This car has a lot of miles on it. Don't want to have any idling issues when we're done here. Then you get customers who's not familiar with that pissed off, complaining about it. Look at that boat. They had that in the back for some reason or another. Old starter comes out just like that. I take the new starter. Yes, you can see this has been replaced once before. Let's see which kind is it. Look like it might be a Duralast. Yeah, it says DL. Yep, the same. She said they couldn't find her warranty in the system for some reason or another. Told her that's bad. Bad business. Same starter. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that. See what the phone looks like. So we'll take this one. It goes in the opposite of how the other one came out. I like to get my boat started by hand. I don't like cross-threading anything. Matter of fact, I don't even know how I said that word, cross-thread. That's not even in my vocabulary. So we get that started. Like I said, by hand. I'm gonna go ahead and bottom it out. Look like I'm doing a good job with one hand here, if I say so myself. Lost the camera there. So I got everything in. Now, like I said, I used the big ratchet, 1/2 inch drive, to torque it down. What it's torqued to, I used the ratchet, so it's torqued to stop. Tight, should I call it. Big boats, big ratchet. That's what I use. I've been doing this for a while, so I pretty much have a feel of it, where I need to stop at. I stop when the boat stops turning, or the nut stops turning, whichever you want to call it. That's when I stop. You go any further, then it's broke. As you notice, this starter here came with this bracket on it. That's where this locks into it. The old starter didn't have one on it. First time I see it where the starter came with one on it. So I'm guessing when they bought the last starter, whoever put it in just didn't care to move that bracket over to the new starter. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. This nut here is going to be a 13 millimeter. I'm going to have to use a wrench, combination wrench, open end, box end, whichever one you want to use to get this tightened down. Being careful not to cause any sparks, blow any fuses or anything. Take your time. And with all the other bolts and nuts, I torque it down to stop. Oh, and stop turning right there. Just realized something too. This was a 13. That one I'm doing now looks to be a 12. I almost rounded that bolt off. So now I gotta go in here, find my 12, there it goes. Inside my metric bag. Let's see. Yeah, that feels better. That stops right there. This here is just a push and play. Make sure we get it on right. Oh, that couldn't have been right. No, it's just not tight anymore. Let's see. We can get a good look at it. Yeah, I think I might have it now. Hate for this joker to come loose. Yeah, something ain't right there. I gotta take my pliers and squeeze it down a little bit. Squeeze it down a little bit to get a little more grip out of it. See what she feels like now. Still coming off too easy. Squeeze it down a little more. You can see that. There we go. Let's get the other side. Okay. Let's try that one. Yeah, there we go. This right here is all old and brittle. I don't know if we're gonna be able to reuse this, but with everything else, I'd like to give it a good try before I rule it out. That looks like it's gonna stay there pretty good. But we have all this hooked up. Pull this back up so I don't forget it. Slide this back onto here. Locks into place. And now we're ready to start putting it back together. To be continued. Here's an important step right here when you tighten this intake manifold back up. You got these 5 bolts or 3 bolts and 2 nuts here. You always want to start in the middle and work your way outwards. That way it lays flat and everything seals great. So I'm going to start with this one. Oh, I need to be going forward. Start that one. Just snug it. Snug it. Snug it. So get those going. And just so I don't break my little 12-volt ratchet, I put it on my snap-on ratchet and then tighten them down from there. I just tighten them down till it stops. Just go till it stops. That stops right there. The next one. That stops. Next one. That stops. The last one. Just go till it stops. That stops there. Don't know what the torque specs are for it, to be honest with you. I've done a few of them. Haven't had any problems. So I do them all the same. I'm gonna go back to putting all this stuff back together, and we'll see what the finished product is like. All back together. It's time to give her a turn and see what it sounds like. Clean my tools up afterwards. Pretty sure I don't need them anymore. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if we can listen to it out here. Fires right up. Sounds good to me. See what she looks like on the dashboard too. Got a maintenance light on. I would say she probably need an oil change or something. Other than that, everything looks good. Turn it off and try it again. Oh yeah, she fires right up. Sounds good. So get my tools all cleaned up, put away, get my trash picked up, get a customer a call so she can take a starter back, the old one, and get a core charge back. Thanks for watching.